Good day and welcome back to my channel. So I am now at the next phase of the T35 build, and as you can tell, we're into painting. I did go through and I made the decision. I know I mentioned this, I believe I mentioned this earlier, that I wasn't sure if I was going to go with the documented paint schemes that we knew about, and which was essentially just a straight green, or the whitewash from winter camo. And I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of what if. It's my model, and it's going to sit on my shelf, and I like the look of it. I also wanted to play around with my airbrush a little bit, and still have much to learn, so it was an opportunity to do some learning for some of the soft edge camo. The overall kit build, right, and we'll go into some of the things that are yet to do here in a minute, but the overall kit build was good. For those of you with even mediocre modeling skills, you'll find this only moderately challenging. You know, there's little fiddly bits and pieces, like say around here, the deck going on, and then these side skirts. So these side skirts, as you can see, like right here, here's another one. It keeps coming off. I need to go back and re-glue that back on. But the alignment of all of these compared to the overall model were slightly challenging, but that's the kind of fiddly bit you have to deal with. There's still a couple things I need to clean up. I currently have the base coat down, so I did go with the Soviet green and the dark earth, sort of tigerish, so this sort of camo, just because I like the look of it. There are a couple of things just to touch up, and then to go back and do, I did do the tools separately, and I got the base color of the tools and the toe cables done. The toe cables, right? The toe cables, these are plastic. They're not metal or anything like that, and I'm actually not disappointed with the way they look. They have a good detail to them, and I'm content with the look of them. I suppose purists would have some challenges with that, but I don't. I don't. I like the way they look. I still do not have the machine guns put into the turrets, and the justification for that was reaffirmed when I was working on this thing, because I almost did break that machine gun while I was fiddling with the upper turret. I was moving this around to get the painting done. I just bumped it and it bent it. I was able to get that back into shape without breaking it, but I have to be extremely careful around that, and since all of these other turrets are, lots of fiddly pokey outy bits, those are going to probably be the very last pieces I put on. They'll be painted in their own way, and then stuck in, and then put into the turrets, and the turrets will be put on probably very, very last. So also another piece here is this back end. You set this down on, this piece just gets dropped down in onto the deck and so forth. I'm kind of curious if I want to maybe put this up, but I did choose to not glue this so that I could go in and detail that, because you can see that fan fairly well through the louver. So I'm going to want to paint and detail paint that while I'm painting. Do have detail painting for the shovels, for the tools, for all of those things, those detail pieces, then chipping. I do have the base coats down. This is sealed. So the next step is to put the decals on, and I will go with the red star. And since this is a what if, with the theory of this maybe perhaps being later in the war, I'm considering doing the Soviet slogan, just because there's all this really nice, canvas to play with. So it seems like it's a possibility that would be interesting to do, and I think I will, just because, again, it's practice. This is a kit that I can practice on. So that's where we are. This is ready now for the water slide transfers and the base. If I do decide to do the slogans, do that, then one more seal, then I can start detailing, going back and doing all the chipping, as I do intend to make this, since this is going to be what if, and it is going to be something that has survived into 42, 43, it obviously would have been patched and fixed and modified. I thought about leaving one of these skirts off, but I like it. I kind of like the way it looks with it on. I'm still in the on the fence on that. The detail inside is good, so I could theoretically leave one of those skirts off fairly well. For the construction overall, we're essentially done. Now it's just painting and detailing. So, and I'll go do that and bring you guys up to speed in the next video on that. The overall build was really nice. I took my time on this one. I had several other projects going at once. I love this tank, so as an engineer, I love the design of this. It's just insane. It's way overdone, but that's the mindset of the time period when the design of these things, before the speed of warfare became evident and arms and munitions outran defensive. War became offensive rather than defensive. So it shows an interesting mindset. The engineering of this kit is fabulous. So I don't know what other people's opinions are of Zvezda, but with just looking at this kit alone, I am very enamored of their engineering. The tracks, if they were to do an entire run of tracks like this, I could easily put those together and be happy doing that. It was fun. It was easy. I know that there's magic tracks and a whole bunch of other different types of tracks that are possibly easy or have their own skill set to do, but these go together well. They drop in. If you put them together, the cleanup was easy because you just got the couple of points to clean up, and then they just slide together very well. The detail looks nice to me. Again, a time period buff may find things to be unhappy about, but I like it. The detail of like these guns is, and I apologize for this schmutz all over my hand. The detail of the guns, especially the parts that you will see, but even the parts that you will not see, are fabulous. And you don't, there's a supposed benefit to photo etch parts because they can show detail, etc., etc. But that detail for plastic is outstanding, and it will work well. Anyway, that is where I am now on the T35 land battleship. I will move on, and I will I will put on the water slide transfers. I will put on the markings, do one more quick seal. This has one coat of sealant on it already. Once the transfers are done, put another seal on, then get into the weathering part. So I hope you're enjoying this journey with me. And again, if you're interested in this model kit and curious what's involved to putting her together, that's, I hope this is helpful to you. And until later, next time, happy modeling.